In this lesson, we're going to create a nosing profile family from scratch. The objective is to create a basic profile that can be applied to three sides of the stairs treads, giving your stairs a more residential look. Although this profile is basic in nature, it can be used in many different applications within the model. The process is to find the correct template, add some reference planes, then to draw the profile of the nosing. This profile is later loaded in your model and added to the stairs. Once applied to your stairs, it becomes transformed into a 3D extrusion. To get started, click on the Application button. It's that little purple R in the upper left-hand corner. Go to New, then go to Family. This will bring you into the default English Imperial Select Template File dialog. Scroll down until you find Profile-Stair Nosing. Once you find this, open it up. The first thing you'll see when you jump into a family of this nature are two reference planes. These reference planes are fixed and cannot be moved. They serve as your guiding point or your starting point for your profile. They tell you where the tread surface is, the riser face, and even where to draw the profile in this quadrant. The next step is to lay out the actual framework for our profile. What we're going to do is add additional reference planes, and then we're going to draw our profile within it, kind of like temporary lines or construction lines. To get started drawing reference planes, go to the Create tab and click the Reference Plane button on the Datum panel. Let's give it an offset of 3/4 of an inch. On the Draw panel, click the Pick Lines button, and let's offset a line to the left 3/4 of an inch. Don't be afraid to zoom in. Move your cursor over the vertical line, and you'll see a temporary line appear to the left. Once you see that temporary line appear to the left, go ahead and pick the vertical line. This will serve as a reference plane for the depth of our bull nose. Let's draw another reference plane down to 1.5 inches. In the same manner, using your Pick Lines button, offset a line straight down from the top reference plane. We now have two reference planes, one at 3/4 of an inch, one at 1.5 inches. Let's do one more and offset it all the way down 2¼ inches. I type in 2.25. Let's offset this all the way down from the top line, like so. Since we're going to add some dimensions to this profile, it'd be a good idea if we bump the scale up a little bit so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to change my scale to 3 inches equals a foot. It kind of makes the text small, but that's okay. It won't show up when we load it into the model. I'm going to zoom into my reference planes now. I'm going to go to my Create tab. On my Create tab, I'm going to pick Aligned. We're putting dimensions in to simply discern between the different reference planes so we don't get too confused when we start drawing our profile. Rule of thumb is you always start from the first reference plane, then resolve at the second. So in this case, I'm going to go from right to left and put in a 3/4 inch dimension. I'm going to pick my first reference plane. I'm going to pick my second reference plane. Then I'm just going to pick a point off of the reference planes to place my dimension. I'm going to repeat the procedure moving downward. So I'm going to pick my top reference plane, pick my second reference plane, and find a spot to put my dimension. I'm going to add one more dimension. I'm going to grab the top reference plane, grab the very bottom reference plane, and I'm going to nest that dimension. Once your dimensions are in place, hit the Escape button twice. It's time to draw the profile. To do that, go to the Create tab and click on your Line button. The first line I'm going to draw is at the top. I'm going to go from the intersection to the intersection. My second line is going to be my actual bull nose. So on my Draw panel, I'm going to click my Start End Radius Arc button. I'm going to draw my second point down 1.5 inches. I'm going to move to the left until I see that 3/4 inch tip show up. Once I see the tangency, I pick that point. On the Draw panel, I'm going to move back to my Line button and just draw a short line 1/4 inch down from that bull nose. I'm going to hit Escape twice. On my Create tab, I'm going to click Line again. Now I'm going to draw another line all the way down 2¼ inches from the topmost intersection. I'm going to pick that point. I'm going to draw another line in 1/4 inch. Then the last line I'm going to put in is going to be an arc. I'm going to select my Start End Radius Arc from my Draw panel and pick my last line right here. I move my cursor over to the right and I pick the last point. Hit Escape a couple times. The last thing I want to do is physically save this somewhere. If you go to the Windows Application button, go to Save As, and Save As Family, what I'd like to do is just put this in a directory where you know you're going to be able to find it. I'm going to call mine Bull Nose. I'm going to click my Options button, and I'm just going to put 1 for maximum backups. The reason I do this is I don't like to have a lot of backups kicking around. Sometimes I accidentally open the wrong one. 1 backup is typically plenty. I click OK and hit Save. So that wasn't so bad, right? Families aren't all that intimidating. This one was simple, but the basic concept is there. By drawing reference planes, then drawing the profile of the nosing, you've done nothing more than you would have done in a 2D CAD environment, only this time you can use it over and over.